are one of the most misunderstood pets that people have in their homes, and there is a nationwide shelter crisis because of it. Dominance theory has been long debunked in dog ownership, yet there are still people who misinterpret a dog growling or snapping as showing dominance that needs correction. Among other dangerous projections of dog behavior, like assuming your dog is shameful or guilty based on the look on their face when you call them a bad dog. The miscommunications from owner to dog result in dog bites that could otherwise be prevented with clear communication and an understanding of dog body language. So today, I hope to bridge that gap. This is Dog Communication Explained, Stress Edition. When humans experience stress, sometimes we get sweaty, we start rushing around, and maybe we start to worry and become anxious too. Stress in humans is internalized over time through exposure to good stress or desensitization. Going for a job interview at 16 is a more nerve-wracking experience than going to a job interview at 24, because by 24, you would have gone to many job interviews and you would know the process by then. When dogs experience stress, it becomes a lot harder for them to learn additional skills. Instead, they learn how they can avoid or confront the source of the stress. Stress in dogs manifests as a collection of physical symptoms, regardless if it's good stress or bad stress. When non-confrontational, shy, fearful, or otherwise scared dogs are experiencing mild stress or discomfort, like being handled by somebody new, you may notice the following: a clenched jaw, pinned ears, avoiding eye contact, yawning, a tucked tail, whale eye, vocalizations like whining, barking, or growling, panting, and they're unresponsive to treats or praise. This kind of reaction to stress is a precursor to a flight or freeze response, meaning they avoid the source of the stress and they run away or shut down. Fearful or shy dogs can still bite if they're pushed too far, which is why it's important to keep this in mind. When confrontational dogs are experiencing mild stress or discomfort, like being touched somewhere they don't want, you may notice this instead: repeat vocalizations, raised lips, raised hackles, growling, pinned ears, panting, yawning, lip licking, appeasement licking, whale eye, stiff wagging tail, and a redirection of arousal, like mouthing your hands, grabbing a toy, or licking their paws. This stress reaction is a precursor to a fight or fawn response, which are mechanisms of shutting down an uncomfortable situation before they have to escalate. Dogs do this out of respect for you, the owner, so that they don't accidentally hurt you. They are communicating their need for space. A dog's inability to cope with stress is a man-made problem because people are getting dogs and avoiding teaching ways to cope with stress altogether, even if it's a necessary stress. So when it matters, the dogs aren't prepared, and it leads to bites, dog fights, or even fatal attacks. Your dog should never get to this point. Dogs rely on us to be their advocate. When these subtle stress signs are shown, it's your signal to come up with a different plan, even if you are training, and even if you think your dog won't bite anybody. When dogs become very stressed by their environment or something in it, or a lack of access to something they want, like a new dog or a new baby in the house, this increases their risk of biting someone or hurting themselves, regardless if they're confrontational or not. Extreme signs of stress are the following: excessive panting, excessive drooling, inappropriate marking inside, uncharacteristic aggression or fear towards everyday stimuli, non-stop vocalizations, unprovoked snapping, and unexplained medical conditions. Extreme stress occurs most often when dogs aren't desensitized to coping with change and stress as a whole. If this sounds like your dog, you need a behaviorist to address it. Similar to stress, over-arousal is something that dogs naturally experience day to day, but how they have learned to cope with it affects how they express it to those around them. A lot of things can cause over-arousal in dogs, but some common causes are overexcitement, overtiredness, a lack of fulfillment, under-enrichment, and of course stress. These are some of the behavioral expressions of over-arousal: zoomies, pulling on the leash towards dogs or people, humping furniture or other dogs, excessive pacing, excessive panting, biting on the leash or pant legs of their handler, and unresponsive to reinforcers. Over-arousal is not to be confused with overexcitement. Overexcitement is when a dog becomes too excited by a specific situation, like greeting somebody, and it has a hard time coming back from it, which can lead to over-arousal on the rest of a walk. Overexcitement can look like excessive vocalizations, panting, pulling on a leash towards dogs or people, overly playful with other dogs and people, anxious for attention, and excitable peeing. Knowing the difference is important for knowing why your dog behaves the way they do and helps you understand what they may be feeling in the moment. But some forms of stress are good to expose your dog to and are necessary for their care. If you avoid them, you'll accidentally create a dog who becomes easily stressed or overly aroused in tasks meant for their care. Every day, you should be practicing handling your dog and rewarding them for the interaction to keep it positive. Specifically, you should be touching their feet, even if they hate it. Them hating it isn't a reason to avoid it if you do it slowly, calmly, and positively. Every day, you should be going somewhere new with your dog if they can tolerate it. It stimulates their brain and does a lot more for their tolerance of stress than a lick mat inside can. If they can't tolerate exploring new places, take them outside every day and sit with them. Just watch the world go by and reward the experience. You want your dog to know how to handle stress, but you don't want to accidentally tell your dog that stress is scary, newness is to be feared, and that they should only stay inside. When in doubt, consult with a trainer who can help you be a better advocate for your dog. Knowing what your dog is telling you can solve 90% of the problems that you're having.